Welcome to our 5 on 5. We're pleased to welcome back Dr. Linda Schott, president of Southern Oregon University. Good to see you again.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Thanks for being here. Yeah. So interesting stuff. So the student body is changing. I believe you're saying recently. Does SOU need to change with it?
Well, when I said the student body is changing, what I mean is that across the country and here in Oregon, increasingly we have more older students and students who are not living on campus. So the student we think of as the, quote, traditional student, 18 to 22 years old, is really becoming the minority. And so when you think about serving students who aren't living on campus, who are working, many of them full-time or close to full-time, how you serve those students does have to change. And SOU is already serving some of those students, but my sense is that there are probably more whom we need to serve, and so we need to look at that.
Yeah, and this is happening, as you say, on such a macro level. Is this something that you and the other presidents at Oregon University system schools are discussing together to maybe brainstorm ideas?
We haven't gotten to that point yet, but we are starting a planning process on the SOU campus. We'll start in January, where we're going to have groups of people reading and thinking about the future of higher education. Topics such as, how will technology impact us in the next 20, 30 years?
Sure.
How will higher education be funded? As we know that's a continuing problem, and I don't see any magical solution for that. So we're going to step back for a few months and just really read and think about the future of higher education, and then we'll begin the actual planning process.
Yeah, it sounds like that's something you probably want students, obviously administrators, professors, you want everybody to weigh in. What about like the community leaders, businesses, where they see the future going? Because you're trying to predict almost, and that is difficult, I imagine.
It's very difficult. We will have a strategic planning committee composed of people on campus, but then we'll be doing focus groups with students and other groups on campus, as well as out into the communities of the Rogue Valley, and trying to reach out and get as much input as possible on what should the future of SOU be. Because it's just really important that we think about that and we listen to lots of different people.
Certainly. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll have much more in a moment. Stay with us. Welcome back to our 5 on 5. Again, we're here with Dr. Linda Schott, president of Southern Oregon University. So as we're talking about preparing for the future of education and the future needs of students, how do you go about doing that, and what would you like to see implemented, perhaps?
Well, I think one thing we need to think really hard about at the university level is what is happening in the K through 12 sector of education. Things are changing in the way students are being taught in those grades, and as that change continues, students will then come to the university expecting different ways of teaching. And a good example here in Medford is there's a teacher in the Medford district who's gamified all of her culinary classes. So students are learning through playing games, and that's a very effective way of learning. Well, do we need to do that at the university? We all already are doing that to some degree, but do we need to think about that more broadly? How do we use technology? As more and more technology is being used, even with younger children, and children are used to having iPads and computers all the time. So how do we integrate that into the way that we teach as well? So I've been reaching out to the superintendents in this area and just starting to learn more about education here in Oregon so that SOU can better meet the needs of the graduates who are coming directly out of high school to us.
And are you guys also at the same time, I imagine you're always looking at expanding programs and doing, is there anything like that in the works that you might be already planning or discussing at least? Well,
we have some new academic programs that we hope will be approved within the next few months. One of those is a master's degree in outdoor adventure leadership. We have the undergraduate degree, but we're very hopeful that this master's will be approved. And if it is, I believe it's going to be the only one west of the Mississippi River, and we already have people expressing interest in joining that program.
Wow.
We're also working on an undergraduate degree that would be sort of the management side of healthcare, not about being a doctor,
Sure.
but about doing the business of healthcare.
Interesting. Okay. Well, clearly there's a lot going on. I know how busy you are. Of course, being between Christmas and New Year's, it's good to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Great to see you. Thank you so much. Have a good holiday.
Thank you. You too. Stay with us. We'll be right back.